the Ministry of Defence has actually signed contracts worth 62,370 odd crores with Hindustan Aeronautics, and this is for the procurement of 97 light combat aircrafts for Indian Air Force. The program will actually help the Indian Air Force to replace its fleet of MiG-21. Dr. D.K. Sunil, Chairman and Managing Director of Hindustan Aeronautics, joins in. Dr. Sunil, welcome to the show, and always a pleasure to speak to you at NDTV Profit. My first question coming to you is, and before that, congratulations is what I would want to tell you. 97 aircrafts is what you're talking about. If you could help us understand details in terms of the timelines of delivery and the way you're going to plan the execution, because in the previous order that you got for 83, the major concern was execution.
Thank you for having me. This order adds up to the order of 83 that we got at 21, totaling to 180 aircraft. We have already started execution of the first order. We have 10 aircraft in the flight line. They're already ready for delivery. That means we have put a Cat B engine, tested it, and it's ready. We have got 3 Cat A engines from General Electric, as you know, and those 3 aircraft are ready. So today we are at a situation where we are doing the missile testing, the firing, because finally it is a weaponized platform. So that testing is going on, and we expect that in the coming month we will be able to have a good result on the missile firing, both the air-to-air missile and the beyond visual range missile, which is called the BVR missile. So as far as the earlier order is concerned, I think the execution has started, and we are on our way. We have been engaging with General Electric for solving this supply chain issue. They have had their own issues. Now we understand that these problems from the supply chain are behind us, and the deliveries will start happening. They have promised us 12 engines in this financial year, and we are confident that 12 aircraft will be able to deliver in this financial year. So next year they will be giving us 20, and they will ramp it up further. So I think this is the missing element in this whole delivery schedule, and once this gets fixed, the deliveries will happen. And adding the 97 to the 83, the total 180 we will be completing by FY32, FY33 max. So it's a question of the deliveries ramping up from GE. Otherwise, the basic aircraft has been built with all the equipment tested, and the integrations we hope this month in October will complete. And my own optimism is that 2 aircraft we will deliver, the first 2 aircraft we will deliver in the coming month.
Hi, Dr. Sunil. This is Anushi joining in as well. You've given an outlook in terms of what's the kind of delivery schedule that you are looking forward for FY26, as well as what's the kind of outlook in terms of the delivery timeline till FY32 that we are looking at. Just want to get a deeper sense of understanding, with the supply from General Electric, what's the kind of situation that we are seeing for the next year onwards, because this year the target is around 12 engines or so. You expect this to ramp up from FY27 onwards. Just want to get more detailed outlook on this. Along with that, you also have a MOU in place, which is expected in October of this year as well. Just want to get an update of that as well.
You see, we have 2 lines in Bangalore which produce 8 each, and the 3rd line we commissioned it last year, and now the first aircraft from the 3rd line at Nasik is ready, and in the coming month the first aircraft from the Nasik line will roll out. It's already ready, we have tested it, and we will be formally inaugurating it in the coming month. So we have spent almost 2,000 crores to enhance the capacities and adding capacity at Nasik, and with our vendors. We have invested time and money with our vendors to increase the capacity. So effectively HAL has now 3 lines for manufacturing aircraft, which is 24, and our industry partners are producing parts of the fuselage, the vertical fin, the rear fuselage, the wings, and the center fuselage. These are coming from our private sector partners. And we have invested a lot of time and money with them, and I'm happy to say that this year we received the first set of wings from L&T. We received 2 center fuselages from WEM Technologies, Hyderabad. We have received the first rear fuselage from Alpha Tocol, and we are getting supplies from TASL, which is the vertical fin. So that's a very heartening development, and as their capacity ramps up, I expect that in a couple of years we will be getting up to 6 and maybe more fuselages from the private partners. So our capacity will go up to 30 by 2027. So I think we have fixed the capacity issue in this fashion, that is adding a line in HAL, additional line, and also developing our industry partners. With this, I think the capacity issue has been tackled, and we will be able to deliver this. So whatever timeline I'm indicating over the next 8 years, if we have 25 and 30 aircraft being built, then meeting the target of 180 is not going to be an issue. Perhaps the critical element in this whole thing is the General Electric engine. They have assured us that they will ramp up beyond 20 to 24 and maybe more, but we have to wait and watch. But right now, next year they have promised us 20. This year is 12 and next year is 20. And if they ramp it up to 24, 25, then definitely deliveries of 25 plus can definitely happen. So I think the capacity from our side has been done. This critical element of the engine, we will have to keep pushing to get the maximum. So the 180 aircraft in this by 32, 33 is definitely doable. There is no problem in that.
Right. So Dr. Sunil, that's the best case scenario that we're looking at. I'm going to take a 2-part question with you first. When you talk about the LCA Mark II, which is the light combat aircrafts part 2, Mark II, I beg your pardon, in terms of the manufacturing prototype stage, where is it? And the first flight, if I'm not mistaken, is targeted for the first quarter of FY26. Are the timelines right on this one? And part 2, everything said and done, you've said you could be on track because you've solved the constraints with regards to capacity. What could be the worst case scenario that everyone should bake in as well?
Coming to the LCA Mark II, there is a difference between the LCA Mark I and the Mark II. Though it's called light combat aircraft, actually it is an 18-ton aircraft. The LCA Mark I is a 13-ton aircraft made as a replacement for the MiG-21s, which were retired earlier today. But it is an 18-ton aircraft which is closer to the Jaguars and the Mirage. It will be a replacement for those. Notwithstanding that, we have already started the prototyping. The center fuselage, the wings are already at an advanced stage of completion, and we expect that by the second quarter of next year, the aircraft will be coming to a stage of assembly, and then we will do the power on and testing. So we should be flying in January 27. December 26, January 27, that is the expectation. And coming to your other question of capacities and what is the worst case scenario, as I said, the big question mark is the engine ramp up. GE has assured us that they can go to 24 and beyond. So even 24 or 25, if they give us engines per annum, I think that's the number we are looking for. We will have a capacity of up to 30. But if you wanted a worst case number, I would say 25 aircraft per annum is what we will have. But definitely the capacity exceeds that. So we will be pushing General Electric to get more engines. And as you are aware, for the 97, we are buying 113 engines. And we have concluded the contract already. with them. Not concluded in the sense the price negotiations have been done and the contract will be signed in the coming month. So I think there is a large incentive even from General Electric that today we are buying more than 210 engines, and it's a big business, and as the numbers ramp up, I'm sure this aircraft will go beyond 180 within the country as well as in exports. So there's a huge market for General Electric in terms of supplies as well as repair and overhaul. So they are definitely now interested and taking it seriously. I know for sure that the CEO herself is monitoring this on a regular basis. So I'm confident that with these technical and supply chain issues out of the way, GE will be able to supply those kind of numbers. I do know for a fact that they have a capacity of 100 engines for the 414. So these kind of numbers are not new to GE, but perhaps this engine was shut down in between. We gave an order, initial order for the 40 aircraft, and later there was a gap and they shut down the line and they had to revive it. And in aerospace, when you shut down a line and you revive it, you have to recertify all the processes. So I'm confident that GE is now well into this, and they will support us. So I would say not less than 25 is the target.
Dr. Sunil, just on that, you mentioned about the importance of GE that they've played over the years. Just want to see the picture ahead. How can we see, government playing a pivotal part over here to reduce some bit of that dependency which is there? How, we can increase the domestic focus in terms of jet engine technology in India as well?
The dependencies will reduce. You see, as we indigenize more and more stuff in the country. For example, today the avionics and the software, we are self-reliant. We don't need any help. It's the engine technology we don't have, and certain maybe critical parts like actuators, even those we are now indigenizing. In the 97, the mandate is to have an indigenous content of about 64, but we are targeting around 70%. So I think the indigenization thrust will go ahead, and HAL itself is investing a lot of money. We have a dedicated fund for indigenization, and we have pumped in almost 1,000 crores into the indigenization. The government has issued the positive indigenization list, 5 of them. So we are working on all these indigenization projects, and we are putting a lot of money into that. We are working with our partners both in India as well as we are working with the international OEMs, where we do either a co-development or we could do a production, TOT production. So I think we are attacking this obsolescence and indigenization on multiple levels, and putting in enough money to ensure that it is a success.
Well, that's with regards to, the jet engine technology that we are seeing, how you're increasing focus in this particular area. Now, coming to another critical piece is the order book. Now, FY25, if you look at the value, that's about 1.89 crore. With the street estimates in place, this is expected to increase to about more than 2 lakh crore, which implies about a 32 times of a book-to-bill revenue. So just want to understand on the overall revenue visibility forward for your business.
With this 97 LCA order, our order book now swells to 2.5 lakh crores. We were at 1.89, and this is roughly about 62,000 crores. So it comes to 2.5 lakh crores. And my estimate is this is a backlog of about 7 years, every year with our growth of 9 to 10%. We are looking at a backlog of 6 to 7 years, which will take us into the next decade. And we have these different complexes executing this. For example, the helicopters are under the helicopter complex, so we are producing the ALH, the Dhruv, the LCH Prachand, as well as the variants of the ALH. That comes under the helicopter complex, and those factories are separate. The LCA, the Sukhoi 30s, the Dorniers, these are the fixed wing aircraft which are made at different plants. The Dorniers are the Hindustan 228, which is a civil certified aircraft, is manufactured in Kanpur. The Sukhoi 30s are manufactured at Nasik. The LCAs are manufactured both in Bangalore and Nasik. The HTT 40s will be manufactured at Nasik predominantly, 60 of them at Nasik, and 10 will be in Bangalore in the initial stages. So I think we have these facilities spread out across the country. These kind of capacities in these factories are already there. So this order book should play out in 7 years. So we keep adding every year to our order book in terms of new aircraft orders, and additionally we have a steady order book coming in from the repair and overhaul task. For all the aircraft that we deliver, on an average we do about 15,000 crores annual ROH task, which is the repair and overhaul task. In fact, it may go up also as the number of aircraft increase with the armed forces. So this is the kind of order book and the outlook that we have over the next 6 to 7 years.
Dr. Sunil, with the order book that you're mentioning right now, what is the kind of estimated revenue visibility you hold? That is, the number of years of revenue that is covered by the current order book, because your FY26 guidance is 8 to 10%. Double digit is what you're expecting in FY27 as execution ramps up. So what should the investor watch out for, and the margin trajectory on the same?
I think on the margins front, we hold similar numbers. Our EBITDA numbers, whatever we have been in the last, whatever we have had in the last 2 or 3 years, those EBITDA margins we will maintain. And the production, as I said, will be, the LCA production will be perhaps dictated by the engine availability, but 9 to 10% growth is what we are looking for, and the EBITDA margins will be maintained over this period. So we don't see any downturn. If you remember, last year we had a double whammy where we could not deliver the LCS. At the same time, we had the grounding of the ALH fleet also. But we could still make up the numbers because of the ROH, the repair and overall order book that we have. And we have maintained the EBITDA numbers. So I think going forward, we are confident that we will be able to maintain the earnings and turnover consistently.
Okay. Dr. Sunil, beyond the Tejas program also, if you're looking at, there have been quite some bit of important developments that we are taking in context for HAL, that includes the AMCA program as well as helicopters as well. Just want to get your overall take, the key projects and focus that you have for the next 5 years or so.
I think as we have discussed, the current order book takes us well into the next decade, start of the next decade. So today, all the R&D projects that we are working on are essentially targeted towards the next decade. That is, once these projects are completed by 32, 33, the new projects will come into production. For example, the LCA MK2 should get certified around 2030, and the production will start at full swing by 31. We will have concurrent production and then it will ramp up. The LCA MK2 will enter production, and we expect to produce about 125 of those. The AMCA is a project which we are working with ADA. We are also part of the design team. And as you know, now it is an open tender with the private sector also participating. So I hope we will be one of the candidates who will qualify for the RFQ, and we will, I hope, bag the eventual D&D plus order. So that is also, we have factored into our projections that if the AMCA comes into production around 2034-35, that is also about 125 aircraft, which will take us beyond 2035. Another big investment that HAL has made is in the IMRH helicopter, which is a 12-ton helicopter. And that certification is expected to happen by 2031. And that's a bigger number. We will be producing about 350 helicopters. So it's a collection of projects that we will have in the next decade. IMRH, LCA MK2, AMCA coming into production. And the other newer projects, like we have a CATS Warrior, which is a UCAV, which should finish certification and enter production. Also the LUH, which is now in its final stages of certification, which is the light utility helicopter, will also be a big, will be produced in big numbers from next year onwards, but it will be a product which will continue into the next decade because of the huge volumes that we expect for the LUH, which is upwards of 400 numbers. So I think we are investing almost 17,000 crores in these R&D projects, funded both by the government as well as by HAL. And the other major project is the Sukhoi upgrade. We are having a total avionics upgrade of the Sukhoi, about 84 numbers. The D&D will expected to start this year, design and development. We expect the sanction from the government in this financial year. And that will take about 7 years to come to production. That is the upgrade of the 84 aircraft. So we have all these major projects lined up for the coming decade and heavy investments in R&D and infrastructure to ensure that our order book is maintained or even will grow beyond the LCAs and the LCH order. We will definitely maintain the order book beyond that with the new products.
Dr. Sunil, that gets me to my last question when you talk about investments is the Capex. 14 to 15,000 odd crores is what you're planning for the next 5 years. How is HAL actually prioritizing its capital expenditure, and what is the kind of return on investment that you're looking at? Because these are major projects. So the plan to fund the significant investments that would be also required for the next generation platforms like AMCA and IMRH.
I think the R&D investments we are making, we really don't look at a ROI perspective, because these are long-term projects and these are strategic in nature. The IMRH, for example, will be a replacement for the Mi-17 helicopter, which is going to be phased out. The LCA MK2 is also going to be a replacement for the Jaguars and Mirages down the line. So all these projects are strategic in nature, and the investments that we make as well as the government makes, these are essentially for the future requirements of the country. So it is not purely from a ROI point of view. These investments that we are making are essentially for the future. And today there is very little opportunity for TOT manufacture of aircraft. You can see that there are many competitors even from the private sector, and in future we anticipate that the TOT transfer of technology manufacture is going to come down, because the government has made it very clear that Atmanirbharta is the key element of the defense policy, where we have to make more and more in the country. And since we are a debt-free company and we are utilizing our funds to ensure that we are investing in the future, and these investments are essentially to fortify our number one position in the country and produce those aircraft which are required by the country in the future. So these investments are from that point of view, and not purely from an ROI point of view.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunil, for joining us on the show on NDTV Profit. This was a very interesting chat. In fact, that Anushi tracks the sector so closely. I'm sure she's got her top takeaways over here. Anushi, from this entire conversation, what are the key things that are the highlight?
Hiral, first of all, what stands out with this, 180 LCA MK2 in focus now is the kind of order book in place. Now, 2.5 lakh crore is what we are looking at as compared to 1.89 lakh crore. This is a significant jump that we are seeing, about a 32 times of a book-to-bill revenue ratio as well. Dr. Sunil, he spoke about the kind of outlook forward as well. So that one bit is interesting. Beyond the Tejas program also, how helicopters and even, the Dhruvs and all that are going to shape up is something that is interesting for the company for 2030 as well. And the last bit, now the GE part, the supply being, the supply chains being overhang, being lifted off, is another critical piece that we are seeing. So
I think it's going to be more about execution for HAL from here on, because the order book is in place, the revenue visibility is in place, and it's only execution over the next 8 years. In fact, that's the story with Hindustan Aeronautics. Completely out of time. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of a special conversation with Hindustan Aeronautics from Anushi and myself. Lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay tuned to NDTV Profit.